So today we're going to take the back seat out of a 325, the flat seat, and put in a folding seat because it's a little more convenient. Anyway, here we go. All right. All you need to do is just give it a good hard tug like that, and then once more over there, and then this whole seat will lift out this way. No tools, no bolts, no nothing. Just clear it like that. Next, you will have two T50 Torx bolts to take off just below the center section of the seat. Okay, now in the trunk, you're going to get in here and you're going to see this. The lighter silver piece here is actually the latch that latches onto right up here. Okay, so I'm going to get in here and you can use this piece here as a fulcrum and get in there and like this. Get in there like this and just use that metal piece and pop that out. See how that just popped out? Look at that. And then just push it out. Yeah, now you got some room in there. Okay, now the back seat should be unlatched. All right, so this will show you the that latch that is on the flat seat and how to get it off of here. So when you look at this, you look up at it like that. That's your view of it, like that. So you'll need to just put a screwdriver in here, use this piece here as a fulcrum, and just put the blade in there, and then just twist it like this. So what you're really doing is you're under here, and you're just opening up that latch like that. And that's it. Pretty simple, really. Then you'll have to lift up on the whole seat. And it will come out of the little socket deal at the edge of the seat back over there. And on this side here. So now you're left with this look. But now you want to get under here and get those, I think they're 13 millimeter. Once those are out, that guy just pops off of there. Like that. Okay, so once both of those are out, now you can take out these guys, those guys, all the way along there. So there's going to be, looks like 5 of them altogether. And you've seen how these guys work. Get your tool in there, get under here. There we go. And then all the way along, of course. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the retractable seat belt here, that's in here, that's the long one, and we're going to put in a short one. So when you put the seat down, you can unlatch it and it'll allow whatever you're putting in here to be in here without this seat belt being in the way. So we're going to get some more room. So we're going to take these guys out of here, and what's going to be in there is, sorry, it's this guy here. Okay, and that's a T40. So you're going to get in there and get those 3 out of there to give yourself a little more room. Okay, so that's loose now, and just pull that whole thing out of there. Just lay it down and give yourself some room there. So, okay, you can do this one. I don't know if you need to do that one or not, but yeah, I did. Okay, so I decided actually to take this side piece off of there. So your airbag decal cover goes there, and then you've got that's a T20 that fits up through there. That is once you disconnect the speaker wires on both sides. Okay, so for this one you will need a deep socket, and I actually just used a 5/8 spark plug wrench, and it worked pretty good, so that's got to come out there too. So once you got that out, put the new one back in. You see how it's much shorter. And then you'll just have to feed that through the hole, put the trim piece back on. Okay, so regarding these guys right here. So this piece here is a bracket that fits underneath here, like back in through here. And you're gonna wonder, if that ever falls out, you kind of wonder which way that goes back in. So come back here. This recess right here is where that piece fits into. Okay, so that recess needs to face forward. Okay, so now we're working on the latch. So I got a latch, basically the cable fed through the metal part of the deck to here. I found that taking these off at the junkyard, it was easier to take this piece off than to take the cable off at the latch itself. So I'm going to put the latch into the cavity there, and that's how it's going to look. It's going to look, there's where right here is where the cable fits into, right here. So that's going to be the outside. Okay, let's cover under here. When you are replacing the regular seat with the fold-down seat, these little guys here are what this screws into. So you're going to need two of these, one for the left, one for the right. And I actually just picked up one of these, and it will work with one, but it's ideally you'll have two of them, one here, one here. And then this piece here fits into here, so it goes up something like that. And then there's like two screws, one here and one here, that go into there. Now, when I was putting these in, I put the cable in first into the latch, the new latch, and then hooked it up, and then brought this back and connected that up to there. So also, when you're replacing the regular seat with a fold-down seat, this trim piece you should get somewhere, if it's from a wrecking yard or wherever, and that's going to include this. It's just to be a little bit finished look is the idea. And then you put these in, and then of course the plastic rivets go here. Now you can pop these guys back in and then do them up in there. So then we can pop that up into there, and then there's supposed to be two screws, but in this case we're going to use one, and that should suffice. So there's also a little fitting that goes right there to hold that right there, up against the underside of the package tray, and then pop in the rivets and finish them off with the center pieces. Okay, so if these guys come out of here, once this package tray is back where it needs to be, this just can pop in there and then lift it up so that it supports the package tray. That will come up there in a second. There, just like that. And now these guys can go right in there, and then you'll have to just, tighten them up like that. They'll just fit back in there. Number 3 is right there. There you go. Now just tighten those up with I think it's Torx 25 maybe. All right, time to put these guys back on. So now that's how, you see those fittings right there? There's 2 of those that fit up into there. So you pop it in and then you slide it back. And then don't forget about that tab right there. That's going to go right up into there. And then a T25 right behind your seatbelt, airbag tag. Okay, new angle on this one. So there's a groove right along here, okay, where the bottom of this fits into. I can go, pops right in there. And then these guys, just need to pop them up into there, and just press it and it'll go in. So when you remove it, you'll need to pull it forward. When you put it in, you don't need to do that. And then don't forget about that little hole right there where the tab fits into. You can actually do that later, as I just did a minute ago. And then your screw goes back up into there. So there's your screw that's in, the tab that's in. Now you can put the door trim back around there to finish that off. And then of course put your airbag cover on there. Okay, so now we can put the fold down seat version of the middle seat belt in, and that's going to be a T50. It's going to slide in right there. All right, I almost forgot getting a shot of the hinge point here that you'll need to install, because the flat seat does not have that, but of course the fold down seats need something to hinge on. So that's what this flat piece of steel is. It's held on with 2 bolts. one right there, and then one down below that. So now we can put the 40 part of the 60/40 seat in. Just angle it through there. Put the seat on a bit of an angle. And so then now we can take this and we can go to the side here and fit that into there, and then everything will drop level. Now you can work on this side with these bolts here, and then one on the other side as well. All right, so I just test fit these seats just to make sure the latches fit, and they do. So now we need to do the side pieces right here. Okay, next. Okay, so with your folding seats, you'll get one of those, and that just pops in there. It's got a bit of an edge on it right across the back, and then just press down on that, fit that in there. That provides you your top mounting spot for the seat. Okay, that's going to go right into there, and then you're going to have that tab and that tab. They're going to go right there and right there, and that'll end up looking just like that. Don't forget to move your seatbelt out. I put mine, I forgot to do that, and I kind of went, hey, where's that seatbelt? So anyway, that's how that works. Okay, almost there. Okay, getting close to the end. So now we can fit the child seat in here, and the two other buckles. Fit this back into here. You'll see how that works out. Okay, and then to set this, again, you just have to give it a good sharp whack, and it'll pop through. And same on that side, and you're done.